Hey everybody, how are you? My name is Julia Norton and I am a visual artist as well as a researcher and an educator in historic natural pigments and dyes. And I'm really excited to be working with New York Art Club to offer this course. This is the heart and soul of what I do, and I'm just so excited to share with you and create a discourse in both this subject matter in the context of history, so the histories of all sorts of different color materials, but also there are contemporary artists who consider these materials and these histories in their practice, and also just a general sort of note to be mindful of color materials when looking at any artwork from the past or the present. So glad you're here to check out this video, and I'm so happy for your interest in the course. So the title of this course is In Living Color, Color Pigments in the Past, Present, and Future. Like I said, I work with natural pigments mainly in my art practice, and these include earth pigments, mineral pigments, and lake pigments, which are precipitated from dyes. I make all my own paints using the traditional medieval method, grinding the pigment and then mixing it with medium and using a muller. And the medium I use is gum arabic and honey. Honey's the preservative, and these are my paintings. I mostly paint on paper using these materials. They're ink on paper, or also traditional watercolors. These are some collages as well. I've been lucky to travel the world and visit many different historic pigment shops, as well as sites like Pompeii, where a lot of these pigments, natural pigments, are used. And I also was granted a teaching fellowship at Harvard Art Museums that houses the Forbes Pigment Collection. And while I was there, I taught workshops in the Materials Lab, which is their public-facing space where the public can engage with these materials in person. I like to begin by talking about any history of color is, above all, a social history. So up until 165 years ago, all color materials came from natural sources like plants, animals, and earth and minerals. And these materials come from all over the world, historically dating back to 100,000 years ago in South Africa. And trade has, played a big part of the history of these materials, which include pigments, which, as I mentioned, are powdered color materials mixed with medium to create paint. And some of these I forged for myself, and I use those in my practice, as well as inks, which I've made by boiling and reducing natural organic materials. And I've worked a little bit with natural dyes, just kind of exploring that for fun, and a little bit in my practice as well. So these historic materials include lapis lazuli, which is mineral, Indian yellow, which is the reduced urine of cows, indigo, which is more well known, black earth, and cochineal, which is a historic indigenous material from Central and South America, and also ochre, the OG pigment. These materials have been used all throughout history, all over the world. And they also are used in maybe more recognizable contemporary ways in textiles and in painting. Up until the invention of synthetic pigments in the Industrial Revolution, all pigments came from nature. But going into that further, a lot of contemporary artists reference pigments and color materials without explicitly using them, which is something we're going to talk quite a bit about in this course. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you can enroll and join us for this class.